my beautiful singles. Elsie here with your reading for the single series. Thank you so much for stopping in here. I appreciate you. So we're at the end of February. How did it work out for you? Let me know. And thank you so much for your attention on these the single series readings. Now I will keep doing them. They do get minimal watches. So if you want to me to keep doing these, please just hit the thumbs up. That's all it's going to take in order to have other people know that this reading is being put on the platform. Thank you so much for doing that, so we can keep doing these single series readings. And let's find out what's going on here as we exit February, and we are now welcome to Mercury retrograde in Pisces. It's going to be a long one, folks, I'm telling you. A long one from today until the 20th of March, and then we still have the post-shadow phase for a couple weeks after that, so it's probably going to be all the way to the end of March. Tell me what's going on for the singles. And let the universe tell us what is up. No specific thing we're talking about here. Tell me about the singles, please, for the end of February. Ooh, okay, we're starting with the Page of Cups. Something new. Good energy. We do have the Emperor. And ooh, okay. Just like that. There we are. So I don't know if you qualify as the Emperor or the Empress. It is a qualification, by the way. It is about wisdom. You don't get to be the Empress because you're a Taurus or a Virgo. You don't get to be the Emperor just because you're an Aries. But, you know, these are also energies and not always people. But we'll look at it as though they are people because we're in a singles reading. I feel like somebody definitely has new love coming in. And look, whether you are the feminine or the masculine leaning, I feel like there is something coming here. I'm going to say that because the Empress doesn't chase, and an Empress who truly is an Empress isn't really, doesn't really care. Like, cares, but doesn't care. You know what I mean? So the Empress is like, I'm not going to chase this, that one, the other one, because I know that whatever shows up for me then, if I manifest it and it shows up, then I know what is mine, instead of me just going out there and chasing everything. So I feel like what is showing up now is someone you don't expect. I feel this feels like it's new. It does feel like it's new love because the Page of Cups is here. But the Page of Cups could be that you're surprised. I feel like you don't see this coming here. I know that it's old and cliche for tarot to say that, but look, they got their backs to each other. So it feels like that there is somebody here that you're going to meet who is on your caliber of vibration. And what I mean by that is this is not page energy. This is two people who have the wisdom. They've got knowledge. They might be business owners. They're taking care of themselves. They're very sovereign. This one doesn't need that one. That one doesn't need this one, right? So it feels like we're talking grown-up love here. Tell me about the Page of Cups. All right. This could be somebody who is quite wealthy. It could be someone who I feel takes really good care of their health. Somebody who I feel is quite abundant, as it turns out, with time, effort, energy, money, and they are looking for a lifetime companion. So they're looking for someone, and these two may or may not get married. This doesn't always mean marriage. Sometimes these two people could live in separate houses for a while, instead of actually getting together and getting married. This doesn't mean marriage. It means longevity or long-term energy. We've got the Five of Pentacles. I don't think you know each other. I don't think you've met this person before. And for those of you who think you do know them, maybe you do because the Pentacles are here. This person is somebody that you know in passing. So they are somebody that maybe you would know them to see them, but you really don't know them. Maybe you see them on the commute. Maybe it's somebody that works in your office. Maybe it's somebody who visits your office once in a while. But it feels like it could be at the workplace, right? But it isn't someone that for some of you, this is someone you don't know at all. And for others of you, it is somebody that I feel that you see very little. So this isn't someone that you would be in constant communication with or texting buddies or anything like that. This is someone who you would only see occasionally, because occasionally you are going to be on the outside looking in. And I don't think that that means anything except that we're just not connected to each other that way. All right. We've got the Four of Pentacles. So it almost feels like it could be a professional situation, or you know this person professionally, because if you know them at all, but the Pentacles are here, I'm just saying this person is the one who is a business owner. They're very confident. They're very self-confident. They have a good reputation. They have a reputation to uphold, right? This person is quite wealthy, takes care of themselves. I'm going to say that these two people, they look really good. They really take care of themselves in terms of their health. That means hair's on point, updated look. taking care of yourself outside, inside, mental health on point. These aren't people who are just ignoring their mental health and going to the gym, or ignoring their mental health and just going out and getting their hair and nails done. These are people who are really working hard in their lives and hard on themselves, because you have to be pretty sovereign in order to be an emperor or an empress. So it does feel like there is a connection here, I'm going to say, with the Queen of Cups, that maybe if this is someone who maybe you see once in a while because you're connected to a friend who knows this person, whether they are an emperor or an empress, that maybe, you've kind of felt something like you really like their energy, or this person is really beautifully compassionate or kind. It feels like, although they're very confident and they portray themselves as quite confident, I don't say they portray themselves, I think they are very confident, that this person is also someone who's very compassionate and loving and kind. This person could have a child, possibly. Let's talk about the Emperor. So I feel like this is a new connection, but I'm going to say that I think it shows up surprisingly. So if this is somebody who you meet in the workplace, I feel like this is somebody who just shows up and you're like looking over the cubicle, who's that over there? Like, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Or maybe you're in a boardroom waiting on a meeting and somebody walks in and you're like, wow, who's that? Tell me about the Emperor, please. We've got the Emperor. So this person has had a lot of wins. And look, you're unlikely to meet an emperor who has not had a lot of wins. The emperor never sets themselves up for loss. They always set themselves up to win. The emperor is strategic. It's somebody who doesn't just jump in right away. It's somebody who gets their wins and their successes and their victories while people are watching, but understand that the emperor is somebody who has the successes and the wins because they're very strategic, because they move slowly. And this is somebody who plans for, they plan to win, right? This strength card here. So I feel like somebody here, if you are the person noticing the emperor, I think these are the things that you notice about the emperor. They're very popular. This person is in the spotlight. They could be someone who is a TV personality or someone who's online somewhere. They are somebody who is a person of influence. So they are influencing people around them to be better people, to rise up to their education, to rise up to being a better version of themselves. This person is somebody who doesn't need a relationship, because we know that because the Nine of Cups is here. And the Nine of Cups is, I don't need external validation. I'm happy within myself. I'm actually already in my wish fulfillment. And I feel like this person here is somebody who probably actually holds back, holds back in a courageous way from relationships, like refrains from dating is what I'm saying, because this person knows their value, knows their worth. They aren't somebody who's just going to throw their whole empire at somebody they haven't vetted yet. And I think they do the vetting themselves, understand? So I feel like this person is somebody that if you were the Empress, you would notice this person. You could be the Emperor. But I feel like this emperor is somebody that everybody notices because they're happy. They are a public figure. The spotlight is on them. People gather around because this person is influential. And they are somebody who is very reserved, I'm going to say, holding back, very serious as the emperor. Tell me about the Empress. Just doing this so you can decide which one you are, right? Because understand that the Empress can be masculine or feminine because Taurus and Libra. Tell me about the Empress. Oh, we've got the Ace of Swords. This Empress is very bright. You would say, to meet this Empress, somebody would say, that person's very clever. They have a lot of really good words. Every time they say something, it makes me think. It makes me transform my thought patterns. It's like the Empress is somebody who gives people aha moments simply by just the words that they utter. It feels like this person is somebody who's been through a lot, who's flown the highest heights. But this is also somebody who's very cerebral, I would say, but also very grounded. Isn't that interesting? Someone very stable, very grounded, someone who other people want to be around in a celebratory way. It's like everybody wants a piece of the Empress because the Empress brings good news and stability, and also is a person of influence, right? This is somebody who just merely by speaking to them, you can feel really inspired and stable and feeling like you want to celebrate. That's what it feels like here. And then we have the Death card. And as I was saying, I feel like the Death card and the Ace of Swords tells me that this person just speaks the words and boom, it comes to fruition. So I feel like this person is transformational. They bring stability to a place where there's no stableness. Or maybe they're a person who is a matchmaker. Maybe they're a person who's like, hey, you two would be really good together. Do you know that you look really good together? It feels like this person is somebody who is sovereign, who doesn't really need anybody, who is very invested in teaching people as she or he speaks. So I feel like this person has had an incredible glow up, but also has had transformation in their life so significant that every word that they speak also is transformational. Let's talk about how these two might meet. Let's talk about the Page of Cups, because it feels like it is a bit surprising or shocking. So I'm going to say that if it's at work, it's like this person's in a boardroom and you walk into the boardroom. Or it feels like this person is like, if it's the workplace, this person shows up and you're like, who the heck is that? It could be somebody that you meet in the lineup at the coffee place, somebody you're not expecting to meet. Or it could be somebody who is of influence. Maybe you're going to their seminar or something like that. But it feels like you will be meeting up with this person and there is an initial spark, but also a little bit of worry. We've got the Queen of Wands, but an immediate attraction between you, immediate attraction. And then we have the Four of Swords. But I feel like this energy that we give off is not like this. This is not player energy, right? This is Queen of Wands, stand in your power. I'm the Dragon Slayer kind of energy is what it is. And I feel like it's mutual, as I feel the Page of Cups is mutual as well. So the Four of Swords is healing. It's healing, but it's also stability of the mind. It feels like the Queen of Wands steps in the room, whether that's feminine or masculine energy, which could be attached to either one of these people. And this person shifts the energy in a room. People who are not authentic would be very worried around these two people because they're quite spiritual and they can pick out a fake ass amongst a sea of people. So I feel like when this person steps in the space, in the room, into the coffee shop, into the room where your friends have invited you, this is significant shift. And I think there's an immediate attraction between you. And I also think that it is an immediate flirting, sweet, kind. Maybe you walk up to the table and this person jumps out of their seat and pulls out a chair. Do you know what I mean? It feels like that sort of energy. So I feel like this is someone you've never seen before, or this is somebody that you see very seldom. Maybe someone who's visiting the area. Maybe they're visiting a friend's place and going out for dinner. They want you to meet their friend. It feels like there is a disconnect here. That you're out on the outside looking in, but not for any nefarious reason other than we don't really know each other. We've got the Three of Swords. We've got the Knight of Cups. So it looks like both have probably been hurt in love for sure and are going through sort of the reassessment phase. What do I need? Do I really need this? This could be a setup, man. This could be like friends who are setting you up and saying, look, come to my house for dinner, hey? I'm going to make a really nice dinner. I'm going to take everybody out for dinner. I want you to meet my friend. It could be a blind date as well, right? Because we've never seen each other before, or we see each other very seldom. So it feels like that if these two people see each other very seldom or don't know each other, I feel like what we don't know about them, but we're finding out right now, is that the reason that I'm on the outside looking in is because I'm not in the dating scene. I'm not looking for love. I'm not looking to date. These two people have their backs to each other. They're very focused on themselves. But the Three of Swords is here. I think that the reason there is a little bit of lack is because I've been brokenhearted before, right? We have the Knight of Cups. I've been in love before, and I've had my heartbroken. I'm hearing a song, I've been in love before, but the hardest part is when you're in it. So it feels like somebody's been in love before, and it feels like automatically we go into the reassessment phase. Like we start reassessing, moving really slow. What's this person's intention? Do I really want to wait for love? Am I waiting for love? I'm waiting because maybe my heart was broken. I'm not really sure. It almost feels like for some of you, this could be a blind date or a setup. A friend says, come on over. Come on over. Tell me what the Ten of Pentacles is, please. Got the Page of Wands. Yep, there is a spark. It looks like there's going to be a little bit of flirting. It looks like there's going to be a bit of flirting. This person, I feel like we got 6 wands here, 6 wands here, which is attached to the Emperor. Feels like the Emperor is a flirt. It also feels like this person flirts in a very grounded way. How can I say grounded way? They flirt in a very grounded way where they say, well, I was in Italy last week and I was talking to a guy there and this is what the information that he gave me. Like, it feels like they flirt like in a way where they're showing their stability, I would say, or their ability to be stable, or when I was married once for 25 years, or it feels like they flirt in that way. They want to show you their worth, but they kind of want to flirt. It's a little bit of flirtation. The Tower is here. I feel like that's what shifts things in the right direction. The Five of Wands is here. There's indecision about, why is he telling me about that? Why is he telling me about the properties he owns, or where he travels to? Or, what he's spending his money on, or what his new project is. Like, why is he telling me all this stuff? But I think it's because everybody is comfortable around the Empress, right? Everybody's comfortable around the Empress. The Empress is Taurus and Libra, very highly intelligent, and also leaves everybody with a very grounded way, feeling their worth and feeling leveled up because they just had a conversation with the Empress. So I feel like there is a little bit of flirtation, a little bit of excitement about meeting somebody new here. Let's find out what goes on here. Let's find out what the outcome is between the Emperor and the Empress. I'm going to say that it does feel like these two people are quite sovereign. And what I mean by that is they don't need each other. And they're probably, one has their own empire, the other one has their own empire. Like, they're building, they could both be business people. And I feel like they're both really holding on to that, because somebody here is holding on to the Five of Pentacles. And so that is singledom, right? That's nine pentacles here. And it feels like I'm holding on to that. I feel like the Emperor is looking for a long-term thing, but the Empress might not be. The Empress might be someone who feels like, I don't have time for a relationship. I can't take on a man who wants me to take care of them. I can't do that right now. It feels like somebody here is holding on to that with chokehold, like for dear life here. Tell me what the outcome is between the Emperor and the Empress. What happens here? Once we meet, what happens? Two of Swords is showing up here. We've got the Three of Pentacles. Oh, the meeting goes really well. We start to get to know each other immediately here. And then the Five of Swords is in the reverse. So I want to say that the Five of Swords in the reverse is not about arguments and fights. It's about reconnection. So maybe some of you have met this person before. It's about reconnection. It's about, I'm going to be careful what I say because I don't want to have any grudges against me. I want to, it feels like we get along. There's no fundamental differences, no red flags is what I'm going to say. This is not a red flag situation. It feels like with the Three of Pentacles that two people are really building themselves up, and they really are contributing to a conversation in a way that I feel that they are releasing anything that might be a block. So I'm going to say that we're being really vulnerable with each other. So we have the Three of Pentacles, which is you look at me, I look at you, collaboration, cooperation. This tells me that we have the same friend group. So for those of you who think you might know who I'm talking about, you might have the same friend group. This might be a blind date. This might be a setup, or a friend saying, hey, come to my place. A friend is coming over from out of town and I'd like you to meet him or her. Could be that. We've got the Queen of Swords. The conversation's on point, friend. Intelligent conversation. Really honest and truthful conversation. That's why there's no red flags. Because this person, you can tell that they're very forthright. This is somebody who's really honest and truthful with you. You feel comfortable because they're a person you can feel does the right thing. They're very balanced in their energy. They have liberated themselves from those hang-ups already. And that's what you get when you're getting an Emperor and an Empress, right? Is that when these two people meet, they've already worked out all of their hang-ups. And so they've decided, look, I can go on in this life alone. If I meet somebody and they match me, then I'll look at it closer, but I'm not going to go out there running after people. So I feel like this is a very natural coming together where it's a very natural growth process here, which is very slow, by the way. Yeah, I don't think that you see this. I don't think you see this because I feel like you're not going out to meet somebody. It's like this is what's waiting in the dark. It's waiting in the dark, but it's going to be really great. It's going to carry forward from here. So this person is going to want to see you again, talk to you again, maybe keep in touch with you, even if they're from out of town. It feels like we are actually a really good match. I'm just going to pull my deck here, see if we can get some details about who we are talking about. Who are we talking about? Give me some details about who we're talking about for the singles. Sagittarius. So this person, Sagittarius energy is fun, silly. They're kind of exciting, but they also say what they feel and feel what they say. So this person could put their foot in their mouth a little bit. I'm talking about the Emperor or the Empress. Take it from your side. So this person could have Sagittarius energy. And if it is, it's probably in the rising, because we meet people at our rising sign, not at our sun sign. We do have, so you think this person is quite balanced, actually. So if they're making humorous remarks, it's actually quite intellectual or intelligent funnies. Like they're being very clever in the way that they speak. It feels like this person is very balanced. They're very sensitive, right? No red flags. Very sensitive and very truthful and honest around sensitive subject. They're very much in balance, and they are quite hopeful. Very grounded energy. Isn't that interesting? Well, what I can tell you about a Taurus and a Sagittarius in the same person is that that's me. I'm a Taurus and I'm a Sagittarius. So I'm very grounded, and people don't really know that about me when they meet me, because they meet silly Elsie, right? They meet the one who is like, woo, let's go, bring out the wine, right? Being silly and making comments and getting people in the room laughing. But they don't realize that there's actually quite a grounded, solid person who moves very slow and is very analytical, is watching every eyebrow you raise and how you smirk to the left and not the right. Like, I feel like this is the kind of energy that we've got here, whether I'm talking about the Emperor or the Empress. We've got Cancer energy, so quite psychic energy, but somebody who keeps their information about, are they single, their information about their emotions, they keep that all tucked away. They don't give it to everybody. And that's the thing about the Emperor and the Empress. They don't just give all that information up. It says here, nines, it says, if you're seeing nines or twos, I feel like if you think that you have met this person or in the future meet this person, I think that you're going to feel nines and twos. So the 9 says, remember your worth, look within, live in alignment. And this is an end of a difficult situation. That this could be a soulmate connection, but prepare for deepening the connection. And so I feel like this person is a seeker of emotions, which means that they could have a Cancer placement as well. 3 more cards. We've got Capricorn, and Capricorn is so different when it shows up in feminines and masculines, because Capricorn and masculines is very masculine. And depending, when it says Capricorn air sign, to me that's a cuspy, like someone who's maybe a Capricorn on the cusp of Aquarius. And I have a couple of those friends, and they are fantastic. They are so good in business, and they're so highly intelligent that that's the person I want to sit and pick their brains about it. This person is very courageous. They may be somebody who built themselves from nothing. And to me, Capricorn masculines are very courageous, and so are the feminines. Look, my bestie is a Capricorn feminine, and man, she is tough. She is really tough. She can do anything, go anywhere, do anything. But I feel soft and gooey in the center, but tough exterior is what I'm going to say. We've got 8s. This person is a blessing. They're a divine gift. Something within you will be illuminated, it feels like here. That it's going to be intuition, that you're feeling like, oh, this is somebody that I've met before, or we really jive really well. That's what it feels like here. So you're going to meet them with a Tower. Look, the Tower is a very different kind of meeting. So the Tower might be, we're in the same coffee line and I turn around and almost spill my coffee on you. Or it could be, we're in the parking lot, we're both backing up and we almost hit each other. Like, it's that kind of a meeting. So it could be haphazard, or it could be serendipitous, right? You're not expecting it, but it's a happy accident. I don't think you're going to have an accident, by the way. But it feels like it's a serendipitous way in which you meet them. So it might be them walking into a seminar, taking the chair next to you, something like that. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. Don't forget, there are private readings open. I've got a private reading sale, 10% off. If this is something that interests you or something that you think you're in right now, please look at the pinned comment and you'll see that there is a code there. And you can take that code over to Hypsee. There's a link in the pinned comment, and I've got all sorts of readings over there. So go take a look at the pricing and the packages and make your choice. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Thank you, singles. Bye-bye.